He's the lay, warlords come out to play. This could be your last day in life. Sacrifice, another Aztec dies.
One time I was in my house before I was in here. I seen a little boy and he had a gunshot to his head, you know. And he was trying to hit my mom, and I told him, hey, don't hit my mom, you know. But I felt like I was in a dream, and it really wasn't a dream. And I told my mom, that little boy's trying to hit you. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, the little boy's trying to hit you. So he laughed and he like went behind the stove. I heard something. My brother laid in the living room, and I seen a man standing over him, just watching him. And I woke him up like, hey, bro, get up, you know, like who's that guy, you know? He's like, who are you talking about? I said, there's a guy just watching you, you know. I thought it was one of his homies. His homie used to come and sleep over the pad. And he's like, nah, well, there ain't nobody here, just me. And I was like, well, there's a guy watching over you. We moved from here to Highland Park, and I started, like, at first my family wouldn't feel nothing, and then I started feeling like, I was like, Mom, this padding is something ain't right here. I guess that he noticed that I was noticing that he was there. He started choking me out. He started coming into my dreams. I think I was like 5 months pregnant for my son. The first he came into my dream, like, you know, one of those TV, you know how it goes. Well, it came to me in my dream is like that, and he's like, do you know who I am? And I told him, yeah, I know who you are, you're the devil. And he was like, yeah, well, I want you to become one of my servants. And I said, hell no, I'm the child of God. They're making me nervous. Then I kind of like woke up out of it, you know. The next day at 3:13 around there in the morning, I woke up in another dream, and the other dream was like, he was like, do you know who I am? I said, yes, I know who you are. You're Lucifer. And he was like, well, you're gonna become my child. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna become your child. And he grabbed me by the neck, and I couldn't breathe. Like, it was choking me out. Like, I was trying to scream like, help, 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 and it just didn't want to happen, you know. So when I woke up, I had 2 scratches here and 1 scratch here, and I ran downstairs because my baby's dad was on a good one at that time, and I told him what happened to me, and he didn't believe me. So the third night he came, but he didn't come to me. He came to my baby's dad, and I seen my baby's dad like pulling his arm from underneath the couch. We were sleeping on the floor that day. And I seen him pulling his arm like from underneath the couch. He's like, what the hell, you're playing with me or not? He's like, no, I'm not playing with you. He's like, something just don't want to let me go. So I tried to like help him pull, and it was too hard for me to pull him out. I was on top of the couch and he was on the floor. His arm was being pulled underneath the couch. So therefore I had to ask my sister, because my sister lived next door for so many years. She told me that back in the days that house was meant, that house used to be a coven. Which I mean, a coven, like witches, man witches, which are warlocks, and women witches, which are called witches these days. They used to live there and used to chant there. And I guess for the next family that moved in, which was my baby's dad's family, whoever is vulnerable to manipulate their mind, they were gonna get. So that's what was happening, you know, like we're the next people living there, and you know, they're trying to grab them, you know, like I don't know how to explain it. It kind of shakes me up for talking about it. So we moved into this next house in Highland Park, and I just started feeling like people were after me. I always felt somebody else behind me, but there's nobody there. Guys come into my dreams, like they're fighting for my soul. One time I was in the valley, and I was sleeping at my best friend's house. She was talking to my sister, my best friend was with my nephew. And she was talking to my sister, but in my sleep she was talking to my sister as well. And my sister was ready to pray for her because my sister's a Christian. And my sister was ready to pray for her. to pray for her, and the whole house shake. Like, you know how you have surround sound in your car and just like boom, and it like shakes everything? Wow, that's what was happening in my dream. And he was like, and I don't know if it was God or the demons talking to me, but they're saying, I am your father. And I just like woke up, and my sister was like, hey, something's wrong with Loca, something's wrong with Loca. And I was like shaking like if I was having like a seizure. And I was telling him about my dream, and everything that was happening in my dream was happening in real life. That she was talking to my sister was about to pray for her, and before my sister prayed for her, that's what was happening to me. The whole ground, the house started shaking, and he was saying, I am your father. But I didn't understand the dream. Now I had asked my sister. She said that the demons and the angels were trying to fight over me, and they're still. I feel like they still are. You know, like part of me wants to be good, and the other part of me wants to be, you know, doing bad. But I really want to turn myself to God, but I can't because these demonic entities just keep on trying to come over my body. Now recently, like 2 days ago, I was laying down, and I was on my couch. I was sleeping. I know I was sleeping because I was tired, and I felt like they wrapped my blanket around my face and didn't want to let me breathe, but I couldn't scream, I couldn't say nothing because I was wrapped around my blanket. And when I got up, I ran to my sister's room and I told them what happened. They're like, oh, it's just nothing, it's just the ghost fucking with you. I went to a medium, I guess you could say. They told me that I have a bad spirit following me, trying to get me, you know, recently. When I was busted, the same thing would happen to me in my cell, you know, like I had these 3 other dreams that they were trying to get my third oldest child, and he was like over there, and the devil was trying to like hit him with the vacuum, and my baby's dad, you know, like trying to like fight him off. And when he came towards me, he was like, oh, hi friend, and he tried to get my kids, and I was like, back up, no, these are mine, these are my kids. They were trying to give my son, my third son, a lollipop, and it was poisoned. And it was the same son from the first dream. And they're trying to poison him with a lollipop. And I told him the little kids that came and brought him the lollipop, and it was only him that they brought the lollipop to. And I was wondering why, you know, like what's going on? And I had asked the little kids in my dreams, like, you know, why'd you bring this lollipop for? They're like, oh, my grandma said to bring it. It was a good friend of the family's. And I had went and asked my mom. I said, your friend's trying to do something. So I woke up out of that dream, and I went back, and then they tried to do it again, and I tried to like ask my mom again. Like this was all happening in the same day, and it was in my cell. So I figured that something's wrong, you know, with my son. So they tried to give the lollipop to him again, and it just didn't work. And I told him, nah, that's my son. You don't take nothing from nobody. I told him, you don't take nothing from nobody, nothing at all. And the third dream is when my mom gave my son the bottle, and he died on me. So that's the end of my story.